Uh,
Ah, hello.
hello,
I've been
hello, Jade.
awoken.
You have not been awoken. You've been awake for a lot longer. Normally we start these and you're just waking up, but this time,
I can see forever.
you've been busy.
So, I've been streaming. What was it this week? What was my 3 streams? You
Factorial.
have the numbers.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll bring forward my. All right. So first of all, I need to set the scene here. I need to set the scene. Just for like narrative flow here.
Okay.
Last night, I'm on call with Jade and a couple of our friends, hanging out, playing Project Zomboid. We went for like 4 hours of hanging out on a.
Yeah.
There's a like an itching at Ansari and Jade's neck, like itching, like whew. I got somewhere to be. And it's like, that's and like, we end Project Zomboid, and they start playing Factorio. They go
Mind you,
live.
this is 3 a.m. for me. We start
Yes,
playing Factorio. This
they
is 3
they
a.m.
they
my
go
time.
live. And I go to sleep. I wake up. They're still alive. Three
At this
hours
point,
go
it's like
by. They're
at
still
this point it's like
alive.
4 p.m. This my time.
We missed the podcast recording yesterday because Jade had already streamed again and had to go to bed and slept past the whole day. So we're recording on Friday now. And I had to pull them out of the stream so that they could come and record the podcast. They've been streaming Factorio. Hold on. So the first day was 13-hour stream. Then it was a 16-hour long stream, and then it was an 11-hour long stream. So that's like the first stream and the third stream are 24 hours of being live, and that's 40 hours. Add in that 16, that's 40 hours of live, like
You gotta put
Factorio.
in the 40 hours of work. The factory needs to grow.
Oh my god.
So, that being said,
uh,
I am going to talk about Factorio because
oh
fuck
my
the world,
god.
fuck everyone. That game has my soul right now.
I miss my partner. Okay.
I
Factorio.
have such love for that game. And, like, one of my regular viewers has been popping in, also astounded at the hours because they've also been going to sleep and then waking up. They're on Ansari's time, by the way.
Oh, so West Coast.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So, they've been saying, like, they drop in every now and again, and they bring up interesting things about Factorio that you wouldn't think would be said about a game like Factorio. Like, the soundtrack is surprisingly fucking good.
I can't even imagine the soundtrack in my head. Maybe I turned off the music forever ago and just never realized it.
No, the soundtrack is incredibly understated. It's not an in-your-face. It doesn't. In fact, there's entire periods where there are no music, but every now and again, like this background sort of uh, ambient techno, if that makes sense.
I get what you're saying.
It like the music has that Factorio feel.
Factorial feel.
So
I have a question. Would you play
yeah,
Satisfactory? Have you tried Satisfactory?
I I would play it, but it's not something I would play alone.
Alone?
Is it single player only?
I don't know. I've never played it. I'm just curious because it's another game like Factorio where it's just complete crack in like factory making.
It's Factorio but 3D.
Yeah,
That's what
essentially.
it is. But is it have you played it?
No, I've never even seen footage of it. I'm just curious if you would have played, if you've like tried out other games in the genre. I've heard it's good
I
though.
mean, this is
Yeah,
this
it had
is this
official
is
release like months ago.
recently, just
Yeah,
the other day.
no, that's a month ago.
Yeah, that's just the other day.
Ish.
But yeah, this is the thing is that even though it is basically Factorial, but 3D. I feel like
Made by the people who
it
made Goat
doesn't.
Simulator. Coffee Stain.
Yeah, it's
It's funny.
online co-op.
Yeah.
Okay, so it does have multiplayer.
You can see the hours up there for Factorio just outing you right there. 596 hours.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not even gonna like. What am I gonna say? Like the last 50 hours were just this week, though. You know.
Oh god.
And
Oh
and
god.
here's the horrifying thing, right?
Yeah.
Here's the horrifying fact. I have all these hours. I've never launched a rocket.
Oh my god. You should add Factorio to your favorites list up top there. Like, why isn't it up there? You fucking... Come on now.
Because I don't act. These are games that, like, CK3 was my go-to. You think my Factorio hours are horrendous? Fuck that. Look at my CK3
I don't
hours.
think I have a single game on Steam that's over 1,000 hours. I don't. No,
And
my
like,
highest is 678, I think, for Civ 6.
if we're expanding beyond Steam,
Oh, if we're going beyond
this
Steam, then for
isn't.
sure I have over 1,000 hours.
Yeah, but this wouldn't even touch my most played game, and my most played game would also horrify you.
Would that be Unreal Tournament?
Nope. Oblivion.
Oh, fuck, you're right, Oblivion. Oh, you're right.
Right.
Oh, you're right.
Did I tell you about
You have told me about
farther
Oblivion. You've told
beyond
me about your Oblivion addiction, yes.
my year of Oblivion?
That's what I mean. That's what I'm referring to.
But it's not a story I've told on the podcast.
It's not a story you've told on the podcast, and I don't think you've told me
So
the
I'll
full thing.
expand on
So.
it. So, I finished high school. I matriculated
Matriculation
or
just
graduated.
sounds like a fucking like you've turned from gas into a solid. I hate that word.
It's because your final year of school here is called matric.
Matric.
Yeah. You
That's
go
silly.
like you
We call it
have
senior.
this moment where you become a senior.
Yeah,
Here we have matrics.
matrix. Okay.
Yeah. So, I graduated high school and I took a gap year where I basically attended bar. Then I tried to go to university and study psychology, which didn't work out. But the year after that, I needed to figure some shit out. So I went back to my parents and I signed up for this year-long course for computer technology stuff like A plus, N plus, basics of computer like engineering, like very, very base level. And then this 12-month course wasn't very interesting to do. So I started playing Oblivion. And then for an entire year, basically, for 11 months, I woke up every single day, played Oblivion till I got exhausted, and then went to sleep
So fucking
every
real.
day. And then, to cap it all off, obviously I need to write an exam at the end of this course.
You write it on Oblivion.
No.
Okay. Okay,
I
good.
did the entire 12-month course in the final month.
Oh my god, that's worse.
And I passed the exam first try.
So I'm talking about when I say you're smart, by the way.
No, I'm not smart.
An idiot would not have been able to do that. An idiot would have just been like, all right, I'm done, dropping out, bye.
No, that is exactly what an idiot does. What I did is exactly what
But
an
I don't think
idiot
it.
does.
No. Yeah, it's stupid what you did. That's a stupid idea. But I think someone who is intrinsically dumb in their brain would not have been able to even course correct it.
Get away with it.
Yeah, they wouldn't have been able to get away with it.
Getting away with it is
You're
90% luck.
naturally smart.
I'm autistic.
Yes, and
I hyper-focused down, and I did what most normal human beings don't do.
that doesn't have anything to do with intelligence, though.
I basically
That's just,
did what I did for Oblivion for 11 months for the course. Like,
well, you passed. Whatever, you passed the test. Cool.
do you know what I did after I passed, though?
Dropped out.
No.
No, it wasn't
I mean,
yet.
I finished. I passed. I finished.
I'm talking about. The 12-month course wasn't like related
Yeah, it was a
to college.
certification.
I see. I
Yeah,
see.
no. It was an independent certification.
Oh, I see.
Do you know what I did when I finished it?
Never touched Oblivion again.
No, I booted up Oblivion.
The exact opposite.
Yep, yep.
The exact opposite.
I booted Oblivion right the fuck back up. I know that game so well. Oblivion was my game.
You're gonna
So
love me
like,
playing on stream whenever I get around to it. I'm
you're
gonna
gonna
I'm
lose
gonna
your
be
mind.
so bad at the game.
I'm gonna lose my mind. You can't be bad at Oblivion.
You kind of can
How?
by being me.
You beat Morrowind, didn't you?
No, I got halfway through and then the game stopped working because I opened console commands to make myself walk faster and that broke the game. And then I got soft locked.
Halfway through Morrowind is still like Oblivion. Have you played Oblivion before?
I played like until after the first time you go to Oblivion. Until after that.
Okay.
So I played like probably like I can actually open up my Steam right now and I can actually check.
So you actually like you you legitimately know what the mechanics
Where's
are.
E?
Like you know what the game
I
feel
have
is.
played 3 hours of Oblivion.
Okay, so like you've done combat.
I've done combat. It's better than
You've
Morrowind because
you've
Morrowind is
talked to
annoying.
characters.
I've talked to the same guy a million times, and by that I mean the voice actor. I've yeah.
Patrick Star. Anyway, can you
Yeah.
imagine if they gave that role to Patrick Star?
Go down
Okay.
to you. Hey,
You're the one from my dreams.
you're the.
You're the one from my dreams. Because he
So
comes
wait,
up to you. That's like the first
I
thing
gotta
he
ask.
says.
Did you play
Yeah.
multiple playthroughs or one
Yes.
continuous playthrough? Okay,
Both.
that makes it more sane in my
Yes.
opinion. That makes it a lot more
Uh-huh.
sane. I was just imagining
Both.
you on one playthrough, just going onto Oblivion, logging onto it, and not doing anything, just standing there and walking, and just like, oh wow, another day in Oblivion, like a child playing like Sonic Adventure 2, and just loading up the same mission over and over again to be friends with Sonic. Sorry,
No,
that
no.
was a little too
It's more
niche.
like you do the full run of Cyrodiil, really, right? Because
Yeah,
in Oblivion, here's the thing that they also critiqued Oblivion for, like after the fact, is your character in Oblivion. By the end, if you do like the side quests and the guilds and all that,
right.
your character stands alone as
Stand
the leader
alone.
of the Dark Brotherhood, the leader of the Thieves Guild, the leader of the Mages Guild, the leader of you. You stumble into the leadership position of just about every single guild in Cyrodiil, right?
Right.
The capital of the empire. And to boot, with the DLC Shivering Isles, do you know what happens at the end?
No.
I don't know if I should or should not
Don't
spoil it.
say it. Don't say it, because I'm gonna play it one
God
day.
damn it.
So, aha,
God
your
damn
point
it.
goes nowhere. But I'm sure anyone
The
who's played
point
Oblivion
goes
and who's listening
nowhere.
can know. My point is that your point is that the game just kind of gives you a million titles and it's silly.
Like, the thing is that you can spec your character, like, no matter what character you build in the beginning, if you just know how to do like a couple of things in the start of your playthrough, you've power leveled all of the skills you'll use that are the best, and you can get the rest of the skills as you go. Like it's just very much that. It's just very much like,
Right. It's the
and you want to
generic
know,
Bethesda experience.
and the best part, right? This is the part that will break most people that I didn't mention.
What is it?
Vanilla.
Oh! You played vanilla fucking Oblivion? You played the base game Oblivion for a year. You didn't mod it
It had the
once?
Shivering Isle.
You didn't mod it
It
once?
had the DLCs.
DLC is still base game to my when you're talking about mods. Because it's
Nope.
still something that was
It,
made from the developers.
all vanilla.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
100% vanilla.
My god.
Yep.
I'm trying to think if
And
I've ever done something similar.
Original Oblivion with all DLCs was 5 gigs.
Yeah.
A friend of mine who was also a fan, who I knew at the time, his Oblivion was 155 gigs.
Of all mods, had to be.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
My Oblivion was 5 gigs.
You can carry
Because
your Oblivion around in a pocket.
I hated the process of modding.
Oh, if I
Where
was
do
if I
you
was a
stand on
gamer in
modding?
the back, I think modding here. I have opinions on modding that'll make some people upset. I think
Okay,
I
yes.
think
Yes, so
that
from there.
I think that modding in most instances. No, I should say that. I should rephrase. UI mods, quality of life mods, don't give a fuck. You can mod that as much as you want. I use a bunch of those mods. Those are fine. Those are like this preference that I want to have in the game is not in the game, so I'm going to put it in the game. That's good. I like those mods. I'll use those mods. Overhaul mods, there is a line. There is a hard line that I cross with overhaul
You're referring
mods.
to Paradox.
No, I'm not. I'm actually referring to my brain Minecraft. Paradox, in my opinion, Paradox and Bethesda are unique in mods because I feel those games are better modded.
Okay, but then that's a bit of a double standard, though.
Because those games suck. Here's my opinion. Here's my opinion on mods. I think there are some mods. Like I think to a certain point, just make your own game. If you're putting so much work into a mod, crowdfund and make your own game. I think this is true for pretty much every game too, by the way. This is also a case for Paradox.
Somebody special out there is gonna get very warm cheeks in a moment. But you're talking about like Morrowind multiplayer.
Yes, I'm talking about Morrowind multiplayer. I'm talking about Kaiserreich. I'm talking about like some Minecraft mods. Like you have support of a
Kaiserreich is
community.
one of the most popular mods.
And they should just crowdfund their own fucking game. They can make so much money if they just crowdfund a game. Why are you still working with the shitty Hoi 4 fucking modding tools? Go make your own game. You're limited by so much when you mod. Just go make your own game. You have everything you need. You could make a fucking TV show with how much lore there is on Kaiserreich.
Here's the thing that you don't consider is that it's fine if they're using these modding tools, right? But in my mind, like, here's my defense of it. I don't know if this is where they stand because I don't do the modding side much myself. But I'd imagine that happens when people realize that if you try to build your own skeleton to build the game, that's going to take you longer. You still got to add music. You got to add UI yourself. All of there's so much backbone.
But the thing with Kaiserreich is they already have revamped so much shit. They've already built so much of their own skeleton in Kaiserreich. Like a lot of these mods, the New World Order (TNO) has like nothing in. There's nothing visual or audio at all about TNO that is in base game, except for the fact that it uses like the Hoi 4 like code to run the game.
And that's where
it. That's the only point is. I mean, yeah, code. That's true. But like, that's the only thing you have to like create. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. There comes an extent where it's just you might as well put the effort into learning how to make your own game, man. Because it's like you have a whole team. There's a whole team of people here, and they're all being fucking. You're already
by that merit DayZ happens.
Yeah, DayZ fucking sucks. But like, my point is, I'm not one for heavily modded experiences on like, unless there are certain ones that I feel like there are some mods that are complete overhauls where it like I'm sorry, I should phrase. I don't like it when a mod tries to do something that the game was clearly not designed for and it's stretching the limits of that game. Morrowind multiplayer is the biggest example of that. That game was not made for multiplayer. Oh my god. Jesus fucking Christ. I can't imagine how horrible that would feel. Like, just blah. But, like, I'm thinking of something like Fallout Dust, where it makes Fallout New Vegas into, like, a really hard, like, everything's at, like, max fucking difficulty. You gotta scrounge for resources and shit, and there's, like it makes it more gritty. I think that works. It's
very in the spirit of the more hardcore side of Fallout.
Yeah, it's in...
But lacks the whimsy.
Yeah, no, I haven't ever played Dust. I'm just saying that's a good example of a mod that isn't
Yeah.
trying to push the boundaries of what the game was designed for. It's just a mod that for the game. Mods that add in, like another Bethesda example, there are mods that will like create a whole new quest line with a bunch of characters. I think that's fine too, because again, you're not pushing the boundaries of what the game can like do. But like I'm just not interested. I don't think you shouldn't be allowed to do these. I'm just saying I'm not interested in like a Morrowind multiplayer or something. And when it comes to
You
stuff like
know
Kaiserreich or TNO with Paradox games, I just think, guys, you can get so much mileage if you just learn how to put your shit out there. There are some
what's
Hoi 4 mods.
really
There's some Hoi 4 mods that I think should stay as mods, obviously, because they're not that big enough. But like the total conversion mods like that and stuff, like you guys have so much room to grow, and you're limiting yourself by staying on Hoi 4.
what's interesting is that you can tell a lot about a community of a game by the mods they make as well. Because, like, State of Decay, for example. You know what the most popular mods for State of Decay 2 are?
I'm going to assume they're nothing huge.
No, well, it's incredibly difficult to mod State of Decay 2, by the way. So shout out to those people. But the mods that are the most popular are all power fantasy mods.
Really?
Rocket launchers and bigger guns and better
I
cars and
see.
faster everything. Whereas when you look at something like Paradox, right? A
It's
lot of
all it's
the
all
mods
shit that I've
make the
criticized.
game either like much harder or much more complex. So
Right.
less of a power fantasy, more of a
More of
challenge.
a masochistic fucking challenge.
Right. So you can tell a lot about a game's community as a whole by looking at their mods. And like
Big booty Fallout and mod.
the fact that for many years, and this is before like modern meme times, but for many years, even in the mid 2000s, getting the nude mod was like a common meme.
Yeah.
Like Oblivion had a nude mod,
Yeah.
you know.
What's really funny now
Morrowind had
is
nude mods.
I think one of the top 5 Fallout 4 mod results is a nude mod on Nexus. Just and they're I'm pretty sure their picture they use is just titties. So you just scroll and boobs. It's fun.
We can thank modern media technology improving in the ways that it
Dude, the boobs
has
look so
because of
real. The
pornography.
boobs look so real. It's crazy. They spent
I
more
mean,
time on that than fucking Da Vinci spent on Mona Lisa. It's crazy. There are probably people out there who have made porn that is like that took longer than like the Statue of David. Like it's crazy.
mm,
That's awesome.
you can
I
believe it.
support.
You can believe
I
it.
think it's awesome. This is my Vitruvian man.
They found ancient pornography. I mean, what is that famous Japanese one? The fisherman's wife and the squid.
Fisherman's wife and the squid. Excuse me, what?
Or is it the fisherman's wife and the octopus? Famous Japanese painting. I'm not for a fuck bringing it up because I won't make you go find it in the VOD and edit it out because we can't show it on YouTube. But it's essentially the like a 500-year-old thing. I don't know. It's very old, and
It's a
it's
painting.
basically it's tentacle porn.
Oh, I was like, oh, is this like a classical painting? I could put it up. That wouldn't be fine. But if it's just like porn
No, but
from
like
500 years
it's
ago.
like 1,000-year-old tentacle porn. That's the joke, is that like we talk about anime and hentai and tentacle porn there, but like people have been freaky for years. People have been like perverted for
Pretty
centuries,
much
and we just
everything.
forget the fact.
A lot of what we have in media today is just modern takes and modern versions of what we used to have. Superheroes are just the modern day version of like Greek gods and mythology and shit.
What do you mean? Our superheroes are
Yeah,
like
some of them just are.
Scandinavian
Some
gods.
of them are like. uh,
We've created an. I don't know. I've been getting YouTube shorts of Loki.
the show.
Yeah,
I've been mean. I'm almost.
and
Yeah, I'm excited to
that's
watch
that's
that.
my entire like connection to the show. Like I've not actually watched Loki. I've only seen it through the lens
From everything I've heard, it's incredibly
of the
good.
shorts. But that's the thing, is that this show does look shockingly good.
It looks extremely good.
At the end.
Really? Only at the end? I've heard everything about the show's good.
No, I don't know where the end, middle, beginning is according to these shorts, right?
Right.
But I can tell, like, this looks like ending level stuff sometimes. Because, you know, things happen. I'm not going to spoil any of it. But
I haven't seen anything.
we've created an entire mythos for fucking Loki again, and I mean,
I say fuck it. That's awesome. Who cares? There's no one around today who seriously believes and
are we not
prays to the
emulating
Norse
the Romans
gods.
at this point?
Who gives a shit? Who cares? Who cares? No one out there is still alive.
How do I feel about the Romans?
You hate the Romans more than I feel like is warranted.
They fucked up the path of humanity.
Do you hate?
How does that feel?
Do you hate pre-Christian or post-Christian Romans? Post-Christian, I'll agree with you. Post-Christian, I'll believe with you. But like, I don't know, man. The pre-Christian Romans were the pre-Christian Romans were pretty much doing everything everyone else in Europe was doing. Like you give it like they were just this is our god now. Like yeah.
The pre-Christian Romans were just successful in the same way that Genghis Khan was successful.
Yeah.
As soon as any single powerful leader died, the empire was in shambles.
It was more so whenever there was a succession crisis, or like whenever like there was multiple people. No, because it wasn't just you said powerful person dies. It wasn't always that. Sometimes a powerful person dies, and then there's like the peaceful transfer power. It's mostly whenever there's like multiple people claiming for the throne, there'd be a little scuffle for like 10 years, and then someone else gets the throne. But the empire wouldn't fall apart. Like when Genghis Khan died, or not when Genghis Khan. Well, I guess it's not even true with Genghis Khan. When Genghis Khan died, there was a transfer of power to his sons. Yeah, but it didn't lead to the destruction of the empire. They just lost a bit of like farther out territory.
They did, but like over time, as generations go, like
it
the
does
empire
dwindle.
never
Yeah,
stuck together.
Yeah,
like the empire fell apart.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. Yeah,
like in theory, if Genghis Khan could replace himself with himself, you know, you'd imagine that the empire would stand.
No.
Like, at some point he may stall out, but he is clearly capable of running that place. Because remember, he didn't just like conquer
he ruled.
flatten
He ran
the land.
Yeah.
He was actually like, not a lot of conquerors were successful at both sides, right? Julius Caesar, great general, great like.
No, I think Julius Caesar would fit.
Running.
I have to read more.
Running the Roman Empire. Really, why his own senators fucking stabbed him?
Because they were the haters. They were the woke mob.
They were his closest advisors.
They hated his ass, bro. They stabbed him to death.
if he was good at what he did, right? If he was legitimately good at what he did,
so good they stabbed him. No, they thought he was going to become king, so they stabbed him. I don't know. I never actually read the official. No, he wasn't. He was not the king.
He was Caesar.
No, not yet. You fucking idiot. That was just his name. That was his name. His name was just Julius Caesar. They got the title Caesar after he died because his nephew was Augustus Caesar, and he was the first emperor. Julius Caesar was just like I forget the name of it, but he was basically like the president. He was like a guy they elected, and they thought he was gonna crown himself king after the Civil War, so they stabbed him. They thought he was gonna become king because he wasn't a king. They were still in the Republic.
From wanting to become king, he was still like fairly good at what he did, leading the Roman entity.
He was extremely respected. The people he had the respect of like a lot of the people, especially in the city of Rome. Oh, they loved him. The senators didn't though, because again they thought he was gonna become the king. But like, I don't know. How did we get on this? How did we get here? How did we get there?
We were talking about
Oblivion
games and mods.
Oh, I was gonna say I was gonna say at some point, I was trying to think what was my Oblivion for a year game. Like what game
Like, what
could
game did that for
I have
you?
to well, I mean, post being like, I wanna say we're gonna look at this after the age of 16. Because everything before that, my taste in games was pretty much I'm going to play Minecraft every day. And I don't want to count
Yeah,
that because I was a child, right?
yeah,
I
I
was
get
still a
that.
child, 16,
I get
18, but
that.
like I feel like
I'm
there might
saying
have been
when I
like
did
six.
that, right?
Yeah, you were
If you do
out
the
just out of high school.
timeline,
Yeah,
I was not just out of high school.
it was the gap year.
I was It was 19, I was the bartending. 20, I was
Oh, I thought this
the
was the gap year. Okay,
no, 20 I was in university, and then 21. So I was 20 turning 21 in that year that I played Oblivion for a year. Consider that I was older than you are. I was basically the same age as you are now.
damn! If I just played Oblivion for years straight, I could
Like,
never at
what
this moment in
game makes
time
you
right
feel like
now.
that now?
Uh, honestly, none of them at the moment. At the moment, what I'm looking for in games is a very uh tight story, something I could play in 20 hours at most. That's what I'm looking for in games right now. Those are
Hmm.
like my favorite games of all time are games that are a story. They aren't like a continuously like, oh, just pick up and play a game of Civ. Like I like Civ a lot. Civ is my most played game on Steam, and Minecraft is my
I'm
most played game of all time.
I'm
Um,
gonna say a statement,
yes.
right? And you're going to disagree with it, and you're going to rightfully disagree with it. But then I'm going to have a counterpoint.
Okay, yes, that's how a conversation works.
Right. So my statement is they don't make games like Oblivion
They
anymore.
don't. They don't. They do not. I
And it
completely agree with you. You did not need to preface this with a disagreement. I completely agree with you.
so here's why, right? It's not about the fact that we're missing any special mechanics. It's not about the fact that we do storytelling different or anything like that. Games, we have so many of so many types made by so many people flooding everywhere all the time, and we're running out of time, and we're flooded with all this shit, right? And there's now asset flip games and a million things in early access and pre-purchases, and we're just over it, right? Games don't know how to don't seem to know how to give us a sense of wonder anymore.
Actually, counterpoint Elden Ring.
Okay, but
Elden Ring.
like,
Elden Ring was absolutely what you're looking for. There are games. The thing is now though, I will still agree with your point. We don't get games like that anymore. We get them like once a year or twice a year.
yeah, but that's what
That's
I'm
part. I
saying is
know
that
that's what you're saying, yeah. But we still got those games. We still got some. They're hanging on for dear life. They're clinging. They're clinging. They're like,
consider that
please, please save me.
Oblivion
Please let me in.
won every single Game of the Year award of its time, and then for 10 years was still being spoken about because of its active modding community. Like,
Oblivion.
what I'm talking about is like what I'm not saying games give you no sense of wonder, or that
No.
Elden Ring isn't a good example of a sense of wonder,
What you're
but they
describing
don't
is the industry standard
we,
moving
we
towards
we don't
finite,
have a world
fleeting
that makes us go,
experiences.
oh my
Forgot to
god,
mute my
like
cell phone.
Oblivion at the time, right? Like,
Right.
even with Morrowind as an example, Oblivion at the time was like Half-Life.
Yeah.
Half-Life,
Yeah. I
Half-Life,
understand
and
the scale
Half-Life
of it.
2. Like, you
Remember, I was a
there was
child back then. I would. This is the type of shit that I would have been seeing on like fucking like online and stuff. I'd be seeing stuff about Oblivion, and I'd be seeing stuff about like Half-Life and all this. Like I was like I think I showed you one time I had that like game of the like Guinness Book of World Records video game edition.
yeah,
That's
you
right.
showed
That's
me.
like the first time I saw a lot of the games that like were big at that time. And that was like a 2008 book, so it was for the year 2007. So pretty much. Oh no, it wasn't 2008 because it had Fallout New Vegas in it. It was 2010. What the fuck am I? 2008. Wrong fucking year. It was 2010. It was the book was 2011. It was 2010 because it had Fallout New Vegas in it. But like everything around that time.
But
Yeah,
you understand, like,
I
they
understand
really
like what was
don't
big at that time.
make I think that making something like that isn't about, like, making Elden Ring or making Bloodborne, right?
No,
Making something like that is about finding that thing in society that changes the dynamic of how people interact with it. Like, I
Right.
remember talking about the books in Oblivion. Like, if you go into a chest and you open a book in Oblivion, it's not like other games that just like, I don't know, have squiggly lines or
Yeah, you read the whole
give you a
book. There's a
skill
book.
point.
There's a
Like
book in Oblivion. They write
you
them.
page through a book,
Yeah. Same
and
thing in
it has
Skyrim. Yeah.
like interesting stories,
Yeah.
and it tells you about these gods, and it is such amazing world building. Like it,
I do admire that about Bethesda. I've always said this. I think Bethesda's at their best when they're doing world building. I don't think
yeah,
Bethesda makes good quests, good writing for characters, really good like story
true.
beats, but they're really good at world building. Whoever it is that does who writes the books in like Elder Scrolls games or writes the terminal entries and shit in Fallout,
The
they
thing
need
is,
they need a fucking
the
raise.
background
They
writers
carry the
of
game.
Bethesda are the unsung heroes of
Absolutely,
Bethesda
they are. Fallout
because
Fallout
I
4
want to know
goes
who
up like
wrote some
30
of those
fucking
books.
goes up 30 points in my head every single time
And
I
you
read
want
a
to know
good
what?
terminal entry.
You want to know what's really sad?
Nobody talks
I've
about it.
tried to look up
Oh,
who wrote some of those books.
oh, they don't even get credited. Oh,
The writers don't get individually credited.
oh,
Like, I would like to see some of these people's writing in other contexts. Like, some of these books are just well written. You know what I
right.
mean? Like,
Yeah, they're just
and
you
you
want to
look up
see what
who
this
wrote
person
them,
can
and it
do
gives
outside
you
of
the
Skyrim or
in-game
Elder.
author.
Oh, that
And a lot of
sucks.
these people don't even work for Bethesda anymore because these books were written back all the
In
way in
2006.
Morrowind.
Oh, more.
No, Morrowind.
Oh God.
A
They go
lot
that far
of
back. I
books
forgot
that you
Morrowind has
find
books
in
like that.
Skyrim
Were written in
come from
Morrowind.
Morrowind.
Yeah,
They're
yeah, I
just
forgot.
copy and pasting the text
I
because
think
they own the IP, the trademark, the
right,
everything. The writer gets nothing, and
right.
they like. I want to find these people.
I want to show you something. I'm not gonna play the video here because it's a whole ass video, but there's a video I think you might like. Just have to pull it up. Bleh. Okay. It's a
Oh,
video by Brian David Gilbert, who
ah,
is I love him, but he went
yeah,
over all the books in Skyrim and found his
yeah.
favorite books here.
Yes,
Extremely good
I've
video.
I've actually watched this
Oh, you
video because
have?
yes,
I
I have
fucking love
watched this
Brian David
video
Gilbert.
ages ago. When did
The,
this
it
release
came in about
video?
5 years ago. That's probably when I watched it too.
I probably watched this like 5 years ago and 3 years ago.
I fucking love Brian
I
David Gilbert. I go through like a binge of his videos like twice a year.
like I I really I was a big fan because like I mean look how much I played Oblivion. I was a massive fan of the Oblivion lore, the world building, right?
Right.
And you can imagine my excitement when Skyrim came out. Think about it. It was 2011 that Skyrim came out, right?
Yes. Yeah, 2011. The year
So
after New Vegas.
I was that was the year I was playing Oblivion.
It was 2011.
Yes.
Awesome. Did you play Skyrim when it came out?
Yes.
Fuck yeah. I think with Skyrim too, a lot of these games, I feel this with Skyrim, and I'm probably gonna feel with Oblivion. Maybe I won't feel with Oblivion because I have never played Oblivion before, except for like the 3 hours. I find it incredibly hard to go back to Skyrim and just play it. I can't just sit down and play Skyrim. It's so boring.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
boring, and I hope I don't feel
Yeah.
that. I didn't feel that with Morrowind. For the record, I didn't feel it with Morrowind. Morrowind was like a grind. It was miserable. It was exhausting, but it wasn't boring. It was just really hard.
Exactly.
It was just really hard and hard to get into.
Now,
I think with
Oblivion
Oblivion,
is
I think
truly
the
the
biggest
other
reason why I didn't
point
play
in that
Oblivion,
triangle.
the biggest reason why I didn't play Oblivion is I felt like claustrophobic the entire time I played it. The UI is extremely strangling. I hated it.
The UI is awful.
The UI is dog
The
shit.
UI
The
is
map the
unironically
map alone
awful.
was. If I can't,
But
I rate a game based on how its map it works. If I
have
can't
you ever
zoom out on the
played
map,
Gothic?
if I ever played Gothic, I have never played Gothic. No.
Okay. So here's the thing: we're both streamers as well, right? At
Yes.
some point, you're going to play games that are fucking miserable, and people in your chat will tell you over and over again how much this game is a classic now.
Yeah, and you're just like, I want to fucking blow
And
my
Gothic
brains
is
out.
one of those games. You've played Morrowind. Morrowind is also one of those games. Let me guess, when you were having the most miserable fucking time with all of the jank and bullshit in Morrowind,
I'm
your
imagining
chat
this.
was telling you how good a game it was.
I wasn't playing Morrowind on stream.
But
I was playing it before I even streamed.
but you get what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying, yeah, because I knew a kid in school in my
Listen to
chemistry
this, like,
class who was like,
Panseri.
or physics class, sorry, he was like, oh, bro, you, oh no, Morrowind's amazing, and I'm just like, yeah, it was cool. I fought an orc in a room alone for 20 minutes, hitting both of us missing every single one of our hits until he randomly hit me and I died, and then I hadn't saved in like an hour.
Eh.
I'm like, yeah, no, I don't like Morrowind.
I think, like, you need to make a redeem on your channel for a dictator game or something.
I dictate the game.
Yeah, like
Nah,
make you play a game for 2 hours.
I have the
Because
control.
I'm gonna make you play Gothic.
I don't own Gothic. That's the thing. I don't own it.
You have to own it. You have to get it.
I'll do it
It's
eventually.
Gothic.
I like having complete control over my stream. If you want me to play Gothic, I'll just do a stream of Gothic.
It's not even that I want you to do a stream of Gothic. It's just I want you to know the true misery of
I know.
classic
Yeah.
games.
I
It's the
know.
same reason, like, I keep seeing videos come up telling me how good Baldur's Gate 1 is. And then I'm like,
I'm not playing Baldur's Gate 1.
I just finished Baldur's Gate 3. You want me to go play Baldur's Gate 1 how?
I ain't
It's
going
like
back
going
to
to
that shit.
fucking Elder Scrolls Daggerfall.
Oh god, you know, I was like, for a bit, I was like, oh, we're gonna play every Elder Scrolls, because I've been doing the play every Fallout game on stream. Instantly fell apart as soon as I got to Fallout 2, because Fallout 2 is another one of those games that's like, oh, it's a classic, and then you play it, and it's like, I want to put a gun in my mouth. That's
Yeah.
Fallout 2. Fallout 2 is miserable. Fallout 2 is a game I cannot get into. I beat Fallout 1, and I was like, I'm not touching this game ever again after I beat it on stream. I got my stream of it, I'm never touching that game again. Fallout 2, I'll go back to Fallout 2.
Let me
one
ask
day,
this,
I swear,
right?
but-
Let me ask this. Without the context of Fallout 3, New Vegas, Fallout 4, Elder Scrolls, without the context of everything that came after it, you can see why people still...
Oh, if those games
talk-
never came out, I would have adored Fallout
Like-
2.
If Fallout 2 really was the latest thing,
I would have
like-
loved it. Oh my god.
it was mind-blowing.
I love Fallout 2. I love Fallout 2's aesthetic. I have to say that. I love its aesthetic. I love its art. I love its I love a lot of the characters, the comedy writing. I love all that. It's all good. I just hate the gameplay. And I hate it so much, and I can't stomach it.
Mechanics.
The mechanics of the game, I hate it.
And
The-
that's what killed RE for me.
Resident Evil?
Yep.
Why?
No, I look
Why?
at other people play all of the Resident Evil games, and I just feel like this game looks miserable to play. Like, the game
No,
doesn't
it's really
look
fun. It's really
fun to
fun.
play.
It's really
None of
fun. It's really fun. Even Resident Evil
Like, it's
2,
fun
Resident
to
Evil 2 doesn't
watch.
even have tank controls in the remake.
It's fun to watch.
It's really fun.
Don't get me wrong. But the games look like they are just a chore to play.
No, they're really fun. Trust me, they're really fun. Resident Evil 2's remake is one of the most fun games I've ever played.
Okay, here's another aspect of gaming that puts me off. We've spoken about mods, but here's a different aspect of gaming that really puts me off. Is fucking backtracking.
And
RE is all
Nah, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. Look
Yeah,
at the games
but
I
you're a
love
fan
playing.
of
I
RE.
play Resident Evil games and FromSoft games. I love backtracking.
Fuck
I think backtracking's fine if the game is intentioned for it. I hate backtracking when I forget an item and it's like, oh, I have to go back to this area. Like, that happens a lot in RPGs where I'll just, oh, there was an item in this one town that I never went to. I'm not going to go back for it. I'm just going to beat my game without it. But in games that are designed for it, like survival horrors or like Metroidvanias or whatever the fuck Souls-likes are, whatever the hell, I think if it's intentioned for it, then it's neat and cool. Because Resident Evil doesn't
You
just
can
backtrack.
hold
Resident Evil,
4 items, and you have 9
you hold
items
you
that
hold
you
8
need to
items. You
juggle.
hold 8 items in Resident Evil as Jill and 6 as Chris. Don't even lie about the 4 items.
Yeah, and you know that some of those slots are going to be used for A, a gun, B, healing.
And it's
Like
called
you
item
know,
management.
like
You don't need the ammo a lot of time. Oh, if I'm gonna go solve a puzzle right now, I could
yeah,
probably
but
only
then
bring the gun with me.
which puzzle piece do you bring?
The one that you inspect the room beforehand, and you're like, okay, well now this is a
No, you have
shortcut
to
door
be
open.
in the room,
The
then go
game
back
opens up
to find the
shortcuts.
puzzle
The
piece.
game opens up new things that happen when you actually do go do the backtracking. It's not like the backtracking is like, oh shit, now I have to walk through the empty mansion alone again. Because sometimes you get hit with an enemy that comes at you out of nowhere. Sometimes you find a new door that was like unlocked after you did the fucking puzzle, and you're like, oh, now I don't have to backtrack all the way. Now I can just do a shortcut, and that gets me back here, and oh, that's where that door led to. Oh, that's where that puzzle piece led to. Oh my god, it's like everything's coming together. The puzzle's being solved. It's so awesome. I love it.
I was never good at puzzles and games. Fuck that shit.
I love puzzles. The puzzles in Resident Evil aren't even that hard.
I look, I don't have a bad opinion about puzzles in games. I actually think that they're awesome. It's just I personally know A, I'm bad at them. B, like I can't be asked
I mean,
sometimes.
if you look at my other favorite games of all time, like Zelda, I like puzzles and games. I like puzzles.
No, 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 no. I like
Zelda, Resident Evil. Like my top 5
from the
games.
games
My top 5 games of
from
all
the games
time.
that I play, right?
Right.
From the
You know,
games that I play.
I could tell you this from the games that you play. I could tell you this. You like thinking about like a plan and then doing your plan and then just sitting there for hours doing that plan, like just doing it. Like you're just like creating something from scratch and like watching it grow and build. That's what you like to do. Project Zomboid making making a character. Fractorio is making the factory and just building it and watching it grow. Crusader Kings with your empire and shit. Like you like strategy games. You like simulation games. That's what you like.
Simulation games.
That's what
It
you like.
doesn't feel that way.
That's what you have. So that's your games. That's what's there.
I will say, if I had to pick a genre, a single genre of game, if I had to pick one, 4K.
Oh well, they don't know. Nobody makes 4K games anymore.
Paradox.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's kind of just like it.
That's it.
And the problem is that
You know what they really never
when
make
you,
anymore?
when you learn about like good 4K games, you realize
Wait,
that Paradox
4K.
doesn't make
Hold
good
on,
4K
wait.
games anymore.
You mean 4X game?
4X, yeah, that
4X. I
one.
was like 4K is the studio. 4X game. Civ 6 is a 4X game. So Paradox is real time strategy. Is it kinda? I don't know.
No,
Is it?
it's not.
It's kinda in a
No,
way.
it's not.
It's not a 4X game. It's not a
Total
4X.
War has RTS elements.
They don't make RTSs anymore. Let's be real. They don't make real time strategy games anymore. They don't.
They do.
No, they
They
don't.
do.
No, they don't. Name me a
Total
fucking
War is Total
Total
War.
War is it though. That's it. That's the only one. When there's only one developer making a type of game, that means that genre's dead. RTS is dead
No, but they
compared to what it
lived for
used
a
to
long
be.
time, like StarCraft 2,
I get people still play them, but they're
Warcraft
dead.
3.
They're not. They don't come out anymore though. They don't. No one makes them anymore. They're gone. They're dead, buried
Either
underground
way,
because the biggest developer of them, Blizzard,
either
doesn't want to
way,
make them anymore.
that's my genre.
RTS or
That's
4X? I miss.
the not RTS. I hate RTS. I
Oh,
suck at
okay.
RTS. I'm not
Okay.
fast. I don't play fast.
Yeah, I don't play RTSs either. But that's a dead genre.
I'm
You like Paradox. You like
I
the
like
big
Paradox.
Grand Strategy. That's the name of them. Grand
Grand
Strategy.
Strategy.
That's the name. Grand Strategy.
That's it. You
Grand
know
Strategy.
why? Because in Grand Strategy games, right?
Right.
What I find when I look online is that about 80% of the most popular things about that game are generally about the war strategy, right?
Right.
But the parts of those grand strategy games that really pull me in is the diplomacy. It's the
Yes.
economy management, the things
Yes.
like that. So that's why I like grand strategy, because it's the only genre I can really think of that does that well.
Right. Right.
Like I've looked up and I've played, like, for example, I don't know if you know, it's probably quite old now, but a game called Diplomacy and Diplomacy 2.
Yeah, I know.
So I tried those. They're awful. They're awful.
Have you tried Democracy? That game sucks. Suzerain. I played
Yeah, that's
Suzerain on
awful.
stream. I never beat it, but I never beat it because of the hiatus I took. But Suzerain was great.
Suzerain look, I haven't played it
Suzerain's
myself,
like a
and I've
visual
only
novel,
seen
though.
pieces of it. Yeah, that's why I say Suzerain feels like a grand strategy as a
Visual novel.
visual novel or RPG,
Right.
you know? If grand strategy was an RPG.
Right. But yeah, nothing really hits the grand strategy. It's like a paradox game. They don't make many grand strategy games. I want to show this though. A while ago, I made this list. If you remember that, you remember this list?
Yeah.
This is an outdated list though. It doesn't have like Okami. Like the games I've played since I made this
I
list.
feel like Okami would be higher than a lot of
Okami would make it to like I think here
And you
around here.
finished Okami,
I did
yeah?
not beat Okami. No, I still have to beat it. I got like halfway through.
That's gonna make you cry.
I know. I'm like, Okami would go around here, but you could tell by my top five games here. Disco Elysium is still number one. Since I made this list, I'm going through it. I think it's still accurate. Disco Elysium, Fallout New Vegas, Bloodborne, Paper Mario. I think I'd move Bloodborne down actually, and put Wind Waker up instead of like move Bloodborne
I'm
in the top 10.
curious, where does Zomboid rank on
Oh, I haven't put Zomboid on here. Zomboid would be probably here. Probably above the Donkey Kong Country. No, I like these are like some of my favorite platformers of all time.
You prefer Terraria over Zomboid? Fucking blasphemous.
Are you kidding me? Terraria is amazing.
I've never played it, and
Dude, can't even
at this
fuck
point,
off. I'd probably
no,
put it.
but
I'd
I've
probably put it
seen,
here. Project
from what I've
Zomboid.
seen, it's just I don't want to play it. I don't think it looks good. It's
Elden Ring is
2D
too low.
Minecraft.
Elden Ring's too low on this. Elden Ring
Isn't
needs to
it
go
like
up.
Terraria is 2D Minecraft?
No, Terraria is like is like in my opinion, Terraria has a lot of like stuff that makes like roguelikes appealing, but it's not a roguelike. You know, character building, like getting this item and then now you're making your build, like character like, you know, sort of thing. Got a lot of like progression of like, oh, now I beat this boss, oh, I died, now I gotta beat the boss. Yeah, it's got a lot of like that type of stuff that makes those games appealing. I feel like people who like roguelikes would love Terraria, but it's not a roguelike. Anyway, like even when we're still down here, by the way, I still love these games just because they're down low in like the 50s. Doesn't mean I hate these games. I love
Where
Pizza
do you
Tower.
land on roguelikes?
I like roguelikes. I've definitely grown more accustomed to them. I just haven't played a lot of them. For
Any
clarification, this
notable
is
ones
this is
that
where
stick out to you? What are your favorite
80s Risk of
roguelikes?
Rain to
Mm.
Vampire Survivors. Here's Morrowind and Skyrim. They're at 80s. These should go up. I was having a bit of a bender when I was saying that these go down. These should go up. These should go up.
Skyrim.
Oh, here's Factorio. This I was going through a bit of a bender. Remember, this list is old. This list was last updated August 29th. And it was only when I was adding, I think, a game. I think I was adding Suzerain. That was it. And this game should go lower. This needs to be entirely reworked. We can turn this into a podcast if we want to make our own things and then go over them together and stuff.
Right
I have
on.
I have to remake this list. Maybe not in a list format, maybe in a tier list.
Yeah, maybe in a tier
Again,
list.
when we get down to this point, I think the point where I started to actually dislike these games. Again, this is a really bad list. The only games on this list that I say to actively dislike start here. Meh, I don't like Halo 4, but I mean, I don't hate these games. They're just bad. These are the games that I actively hate. Like One Piece Burning Blood, Shadowverse, Humankind, Just Cause 4, Injustice, Halo 5, Mario Party 9, Super Mario Kart, Battlefield 2042, Sonic Frontiers, Pokemon Shield, Shining Pearl, Far Cry, Vengeance, and then the two games that I played as a kid a lot that I hated so fucking much. But yeah, if you look at my top 5 games. That was the point of going to this. My thing is really slow. I didn't drop out of the call, did I?
No, yeah.
Okay, so this is just being slow. Yeah, my top 5 games. You can tell we have CRPG, right? This is CRPG.
Yes, but I feel like you don't
That's
like
not
the
why I like it. That's not
Silesium.
why I like it. I like it because of its
It's
narrative. I like it because it's narrative.
it's a story.
It's the narrative of
It's
this.
the story.
Narrative
It's
driven
it's
RPG, Souls-like RPG, survival horror, puzzle dungeon game. Technically an RTS. Honestly, it's technically an RTS. Pikmin is
titty
technically an
script
RTS.
RTS.
Souls-like RPG, stealth puzzle game.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
yeah.
give it that.
4X RPG. Like I like a lot of RPGs. I like RPGs. I like
I like that there's 4x rep on there.
yeah, Civ 6
I
and
do
5.
think that you don't like the Total War games.
I haven't played one.
Uh,
They
if you
should be
do,
lower. Hearts of Iron 4 should be a lot lower. This is way
yeah,
too high.
Holy Force is not a good game.
They should be super low. I guess I just went by like games that gave
I
me
do
fun
play
times.
Hoi 4 and I do like playing Hoi 4 sometimes, but it is not
I
what
should
I'd
do this
call
in
a
a
good
tier
game.
list format and not in this list. Because with the tier list, first of all, like with this list, I had to put these games on here myself, so I forgot a lot of them. I forgot a lot of games that I did. Like, this is pretty much every game that I owned physically, pretty much. Or games that were in my Steam library, is how I did this. So,
Yeah,
I forgot a lot of games. I forgot a lot of games. Um, but yeah, I think this list overall captures the vibes really well. Like the highest platformer on here being Donkey Kong Country Returns. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. I think this is. Wait, I didn't put Tropical Freeze on here. What the
I was
fuck? I
still
don't think I beat
saying
Tropical
about
Freeze when I made this
I
list.
was still saying about Total War.
Oh, sorry, Total War. I have Total War Shogun 2 bought because you told me to buy
Okay,
it.
excellent. So that's what I was gonna say is that if you're gonna play a Total War game, the only
It's
one I can
downloaded.
recommend is this one, and it has multiplayer.
Oh, we can play this together.
We can play this together, and I think that's why you downloaded it.
No, I bought it because I was on sale, and I
You bought
downloaded it
it
because
because
I meant to play it at some point.
But how big is the?
How big is it?
Yeah,
We could do check.
20 gig.
Wait, how did you see?
Twen-
Oh, your
Because I
Steam.
don't have it installed.
Ah, I see. Yeah,
It's 20 gig.
we'll
I'm
play it together
sure.
sometime.
Why not, right?
Yeah, at some point. What do you think of
And
Stellaris?
because there's a streamer. I like Stellaris a lot.
Whenever
I
I
think
play
that
Stellaris,
Stellaris is better than Hoi 4.
I don't know. I have 134 hours in Stellaris. I have time in Stellaris, right?
Yeah,
But all of this time is in the early game. I do not stay long in Stellaris. I own pretty much all the DLCs of Stellaris. Like,
that's a lot of money.
I know a lot of money has gone into Stellaris.
Dear God.
I,
Oh
I
my
have I have a
God. I
problem.
wish.
I have a
I
problem. I have
wish.
a problem.
Do you know how bad I fucking wish I could do this? Do you know how much I like
I
Stellaris? The only reason I don't play it is because I don't like playing Paradox games without like access to the DLCs
You can play
because
with
like
me and we can play together and we can play with the DLCs.
you get half features.
You can play with me and we can play together and I could actually have a reason to play Stellaris just like CK3 where we played together and I had a lot more fun playing with someone than playing alone. Because like normally when I play CK3 it's kind of I play until like the first 100 years at most and then I stop playing, but with you it's like holy shit I could play this fucking forever. That's
But
my issue with Paradox games.
do you
That's
like
why I
put
like
it
Hoi 4 is because
do
Hoi
you like
4
put
doesn't
a
have such a long.
podcast or something on the side or like a Vosh stream or
What do you mean? Like the
I don't
two of
know.
us like
No, I mean like when you play CK3
oh, oh, oh,
before when you
oh,
played
oh, oh.
it.
When I used to play CK3, I would always have a video opened up.
There we go. That's how you play it.
Yeah, but like then it just still wasn't enough to keep me
I won't
going. I
say
would just get a different game.
where or when I was working, but I used to play CK3 like
I
while
think I
taking
know.
calls
I
from
think I
customers.
know exactly.
Yes, but
Yeah,
we
good
don't
job.
say it.
Good, yeah, because you don't want to get. You won't get sued. You'll be fine if you say it.
Look, these people are so rich. Like,
They don't
what are they gonna
care.
get from
That
me?
it's illegal.
What
You
like
can't get sued.
my
There's no
money?
legal grounding for you to be like, ha. Like I could say, like, yeah, I was. Well,
By
I
the
don't want to
way,
lie, and
it
I'm
was
not. I
it
was about
was
to
a
say something
work
that would
from
have been a
home
lie.
job, and I would just like play CK3 while taking calls from customers because the job was so like
And fuck them.
nobody ever complained about my service. Let me say that.
Yeah, that's the same with me at my job. Because like, what always happens is like, I always feel like I'm not doing enough, and like, oh, people are probably complaining about me, and then I see what my coworkers are doing, and they're like bumbling fools, like putting like the square peg into the circle hole, and I'm just like, yeah, they're not gonna fire me. They need me. Like I'm like, oh, maybe they think I'm lazy, and then I look at my coworker who's like complaining every night that like, oh, you don't give me enough chance, but he like for example, I push carts in a parking lot. My coworkers for some fucking reason, are never able to get all the carts in at night. I don't know how the hell they fuck it up. I managed to get all the carts in an hour before we closed. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. But it's like, I see that and I go, yeah, no, I'm fine here. Like, it doesn't matter. And that's what I'm imagining for you with the call center.
Like, look, I worked in retail at a couple of points in my life, right?
Right.
And what I found is when I worked there, at least at the places I worked at retail, I would be working myself to the point where I threw up. Like I worked
Jesus.
so hard on my own, like my own body, like started telling me, like,
That
we're
that happens to me
rejecting
sometimes when I'm out
life.
there.
Right. That's how hard I worked. And then I look around and everybody's like chill. The other person who's supposed to be like working with me is like flirting with someone, and I'm just like,
Yes, I get that 100%. When I work day
and I'm
shifts,
just
that's
like,
me. That's me when
and
I work
look,
the day shifts.
I'm not saying I work especially hard. Like
Yeah, same.
I'm not saying I do or I can do more than other people. I just, I like to do my part.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. I work to what is expected of me, and then like because of that,
But
I
the
wind up
fact
working really
that
hard a lot of the time during day shifts because
yeah, I
it's
just
so much
I
is
just
needed.
think of like what is expected of somebody in my position, I'll do that. And it turns out that what's expected of people is not what people do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
I keep
why
finding this.
all you ever need to do is the bare minimum.
My mother told me shortly before the podcast she has 98 working days left. And
Right.
she's been talking to me about work for ever since I was a kid.
Right.
And recently it's like the workplace is collapsing. The management don't know what's going on. Like the people who years ago were just workers who did nothing, they're now management who do nothing.
That's
You
how
know,
it
like
goes.
that's it's the Dilbert principle. People are failing upwards. Like this is the world we live in. You know, they posted a position, right? So one of the high up positions, everybody applied for it internally, and they even had to have somebody internally temporarily do that role.
Right.
And that person who was temporarily put in place, right?
Yes.
They also applied for the job
Right.
under the assumption that, like, hey,
I'm
you
already
know,
doing the
I'm
replacement. I might as well
kind of
be here.
already fucking doing the work.
Right.
They hired somebody externally and
Uh,
then asked that person who took the temporary position over to train the external person
ah,
to do
fuck
what they've been doing
off.
for weeks
Fuck
so that that
off.
person who came
Fuck
in
off.
externally can get paid more than them to do what they were already doing.
This is how people like go and shoot up Walmarts.
Like that, but that's exactly what's
That's
happening
why
at my
people.
mother's workplace. That's why she's retiring
This is
because
why
she's
people
like, fuck this
drive.
shit, I'm out.
This is why people drive cars full of fertilizer into a fucking building and it explodes. Like this is why people do shit like this.
Yeah, this is, well, yeah, you can see it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's real. That's like
That
she's
is
not.
real.
My mother is not somebody who's connected to the world. She's not. She doesn't look up news. She she she's very,
Many a mother.
she's very just like I go to work, I come home, I knit, I watch
I
like
knit. Old lady.
60-year-old TV shows, and then I go to sleep. Like,
Bonanza moment.
yeah,
Bonanza.
that's all she pretty much does.
I can't wait till I'm that old and
She's
I get to do that. Oh my god. Just sit at home and
so
read One Piece all day. That's so
she's
fucking
truly
based.
fucking just she's just experiencing this from a very human level, right?
Right.
Watching this stuff happen around her, because I don't know if like I've even told you this, but my mother started working for the company she works for at 17 years old.
Jesus.
She never resigned, she never quit, she never got fired, she never got laid off. She worked her way up in the company from cashier, literal cashier,
You know how much I've
to
sacrificed?
working at the international head office in Cape Town
Jesus. That's awesome. Good for her.
as the one person in the complaints department at head office who's holding their entire fucking office together single-handedly, because she is doing as much work as at least 7 of her colleagues.
Good for her. Fucking hell, good for her.
So she's truly at a point of fuck this shit, I'm out.
Good for her. Imagine
She's
she leaves,
insane though.
company
I think
explodes.
she may be autistic.
She may be autistic. Many mothers, many such cases. Many such cases. My mother's like this too. I'm like, Mom, you're telling me that you have trouble socializing with your coworkers a lot of the time, and that you have trouble handling your emotions and focusing on things, and you might want to go talk to a doctor.
It's just like, yeah, she's just got a few of those wonderful traits.
Right.
But
Yeah. I
yeah, the
want
world is
yeah.
crazy.
I wanna talk about a man makes the world less crazy. And by that I mean I finished watching Daredevil season 1.
Daredevil season
Daredevil.
1.
Yeah. So I
All I know,
this is something that's been a part of the podcast, the Marvel binge that I've been talking about since like episode 1.
yeah, all I know about Daredevil, at least season 1, is amazingly good fight
Oh my
choreography
god, it's
for a
so
TV
good.
show of its time.
It's so good. Holy fuck, the fight scenes are so good. Like legitimately some of the best that I've seen in like Western television. Because like I know there's a lot of like really fucking cool like kung fu movies and shit that have like all practical fight, like people really just doing crazy shit. That's awesome. We don't really get that stuff in America. We don't. That's not the type of stuff you get in America, and it's really cool seeing that stuff in like American television. It's like that level type shit. Like again, the hallway fight scene that everyone knows from Daredevil is as good as it fucking is. Episode goddamn 2, right? It's so fucking good. The show's really good. If anyone hasn't seen it, I recommend go seeing it. This is just season 1. I haven't seen season 2.
Good,
That's when the Punisher comes
also
in season
very,
2.
very good performances.
Oh my god, yes, Vincent D'Onofrio's fucking Wilson Fisk. So good. Holy shit. Wilson Fisk. That's the best depiction of the Kingpin I've seen. The only competition he really has is Spider-Verse, but like he's barely a character in that. He's just kind of like an obstacle. He's kind of like a plot point more than like a character. Wilson Fisk in this show is by far the most interesting character to watch in that whole show, because like yeah, Matt Murdock, he's played really well by the actor who plays him. I forget his name. And there's a lot of other characters who like really eat and chew the screen up. But like, holy fuck, Vincent D'Onofrio is so good as Wilson Fisk. So good, so good. Fight choreography is amazing. Everything's awesome. Camera work's great. The only thing I have to say about the show that I don't like is the acting. I think I mentioned it with you, that one guy who played Foggy
Oh
Nelson.
yes,
His acting never his acting get improved a little bit, but those early episodes suck.
yeah.
The issue is
I told you
he's hired
why.
for his looks, which he's kind of ugly.
But that's
That's the look.
look.
That's the look he's
You want
hired
to you
for.
Yeah, you
That's
want
what
to
Lucas
know
hired
what the
for.
best take is on being commented on your appearance as a
Yeah,
celebrity?
get you. It's Steve Buscemi.
Steve
You told
Buscemi,
me, yeah,
where
Steve
he said,
Buscemi
"If I
looked good.
didn't look like
I wouldn't
this,
be a millionaire, motherfucker.
I wouldn't have gotten the gigs that I got."
Yeah. I will say this about the acting in Daredevil. The acting is at its worst when they're doing the corny, the like it's Matt Murdock, Foggy Nelson, and like their assistant Karen, right? And they're doing their law office stuff. Whenever the three of them are supposed to be happy and like quipping with each other, like sarcastic, like workroom comments on each other, it's really cringe and really bad. And the only one who's
Have you
really
ever
doing good
thought?
there is Matt Murdock's actor. But
Have you ever thought about the fact that that's part of his like part of
performance,
the character? Yeah,
I have thought that, but then I see him like acting outside of that in other scenes where they're serious, and I'm like, I just don't think they can do that
because
shtick. I just don't think it doesn't work. The thing is, it might be what they're going for, but it
there's
really
a
doesn't work.
specific
It feels really performative and weird, and like I get it's supposed to be a
there's a
campy and
specific
silly, but
actor that comes to mind when it comes to those kinds of performances where the awkwardness is
no,
baked
it's not
in.
awkward though. It's not supposed to be
No,
awkward. It's
no,
meant to be like
no.
charming
I
and
know,
heartwarming.
but like, there's that one actor. Who was he? He was the Social Network guy.
Michael Cera,
It's not Michael Cera.
is that not the guy who played Mark Zuckerberg?
No, he was in Zombieland.
That's Michael's. That no, is that Michael
No,
Cera?
that's my God.
I am white person
Oh my
facial blindness here. Hold on.
Not all white people look alike, really.
Hold on.
I just can't remember his name right
Jesse
now because of
Eisenberg!
all
Jesse
Jesse
Eisenberg!
Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg! I got it. I didn't have to look it up. I got it. Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah.
He played Lex Luthor.
Yes.
Yes,
But
Jesse
have you
Eisenberg.
noticed that it?
No,
Have
Jesse
you seen
Eisenberg. That's
interviews with
different.
him?
No, that's
He
different
speaks.
though. Jesse Eisenberg.
No,
That's like that's
but like
different. That's not the
it
vibe I'm
doesn't
going
seem
for.
very real as
What
if he
I'm saying is,
means
it
a
feels
lot
like
of
I'm watching a
times, does
puppet
he?
show when I'm watching the law scenes. Yes, Jesse Eisenberg's weird. He also does look like Michael Cera. I'm not gonna fucking be embarrassed on the sill. He does look like Michael Cera. Hold on.
He does not look like Michael Cera to me.
Like, you can't fucking sit here and tell me that I'm wrong, right? You can't tell me. You can't tell me
You're
that
white
I'm
people
wrong here.
wrong.
Look at them. If you took this face and put it next to this face, can you see where I am with this?
No.
Can you see where I make the mistake here?
No.
Can you see
I
it?
legitimately know.
No, you can see
This is
it.
all
Look at
you.
that. Look at this. You can't tell me that I'm
He's got a different
insane.
jawline.
You cannot tell me that I.
Nose is
Do you
his
think I
eye
could
is
look
even
at you? What are you
different.
fucking talking about? This is so fucking alike. It's crazy. Do you think? Do you
One
think
of them
I'm
looks
really
like-
that crazy? Do you think I'm really that crazy when I see this
Yeah.
in my head? I don't get faces right ever. Right? I never get faces right. Look at this. You can't tell me these people look different. You can't say that. They look so much alike. They have the same hair.
No.
Oh my
Just look
god.
at bearded Eisenberg. Just look at no bearded Sarah. Bearded Michael Sarah.
Bearded Michael Cera. Where? Here?
There.
Okay, and then is there a bearded Jesse Eisenberg? Oh my god, Lex Luthor.
I don't think
Jesse
he's ever
Eisenberg.
been bearded.
God, he was such a bad fit for Lex Luthor. Oh my god, it's like they
He
got that.
was a bad.
He was the worst pick ever.
Unironically, I think the best live action Lex Luthor.
Has there
that
been?
I've
There's only
seen-
been one. Oh wait, no, the old
Yeah.
Superman movies. The old Superman.
and like Superman, Lois and Clark, the series with Dean Cain.
That's a fucking
Who's
CW
an awful
show.
person. I don't know. Let me see. Because I'd like to make another comment about Dean Cain. Fuck Dean Cain.
I don't know who that is.
There.
We're talking about movies again.
Yeah, here it is.
This guy?
This guy.
Ah! What the fuck happened? What the fuck? I opened up something. What? What the
This-
fuck is this? This is before my time.
Yeah, this is before your time, but like, yeah. But the best version of Lex Luthor live action I've seen is, ironically, Smallville.
Oh, Smallville. I know that show.
Yeah, the guy from Smallville, he seemed like a legit Lex Luthor.
Did you I want to tell you a fun fact about David. I might have told you this. This might be a breach of his privacy, but I don't think you'll care. When he was in college, he was incredibly bored and like had nothing to do, so he watched the entirety of the CW DC shows that
Oh
were out at the
wow,
time. So he has the knowledge
that's
of all the CW DC shows that were made at the time in his head.
that is
Like all Supergirl,
one of
the
the most
Flash,
cursed universes
the
of
Arrowverse.
the Arrowverse. The
Yeah. That's what he
Arrowverse.
watched. He watched all the Arrowverse shows.
That all came off of Smallville.
Well, it all came off of Arrow.
Arrow was a grab at the same audience that was watching Smallville.
Was it? Hold on.
Yes,
When year was Smallville?
because they all have the same beats, the same tone, the same feeling, the same.
2001. Okay, maybe yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they all came off of the back of Smallville.
Clark
Smallville
Kent,
was fucking it.
Lana Lang, Michael
Yeah, Michael
Rosenbaum,
Rosenbaum. This guy was a fantastic Lex Luthor.
Whitney Fordham. I'm never watching this show.
It's not worth going back for. I'll
Jimmy
be honest.
Olsen. What movie was it where Jimmy Olsen was shot in the head? I think it was Batman v Superman. They fucking killed Jimmy Olsen. They
Fuck
they
Jimmy
they
Olsen.
put a gun in his head. They put a gun. I think it was this one, Batman v Superman. They shoot Jimmy Olsen. They shoot him in the back of the head. They bring him out to the ISIS shoots him. Like they bring him out to the desert and he gets
ISIS
shot.
shoots him.
Yeah, he gets shot by
Should
ISIS.
have unironically just had Superman shoot him. That fucking stupid movie.
Michael Cassidy portrays Jimmy Olsen a CIA agent. No, they made Jimmy Olsen. No, and then hold on, wait. I could probably find it if we search through here. We could get to the part where he gets shot in the head. Nah, the
Truly,
plot part's too small.
truly, nothing puts me off like seeing a fucking movie written by committee.
Yeah, it's Batman v Superman. I don't want to spend another 30 minutes on podcast here ranting about Zack Snyder's fucking movies, though. We could talk about that
No, we
forever.
won't. We will not rant about Zack Snyder's movies. I'm more along the lines of like, for real, fuck things written by committee. And you
Oh,
know
yeah,
what?
definitely.
That's what AI is too.
Yeah.
AI is your shit written by committee.
Oh, do we want to talk about the most recent story actually done the podcast? Like the big recent news story that hit the waves?
Okay, keep me up to date because I've been
Teenager
playing Factorio like a crack addict.
So
Oh yes,
this
I do
thing.
know about this. I do know about this. Yes.
So
This is
I believe we'll be on. Oh,
topical.
fuck off, New York Times. Fuck off. USA Today. USA Today is that's fucking stupid. Washington Post. You're not gonna spam me with fucking ads. You're not. Thank you, Washington Post. You're so kind. Maybe just my ad blocker's working in overtime right now. Who knows? Asking for a subscription though. So, yeah, the story here is basically mentally ill boy is coaxed into killing himself by. No, he wasn't coaxed. Basically, what happened was he fell in love with the Daenerys Targaryen AI, on character AI, which I have. Me and my brother have made some goofs on. We've gone on there and like asked Dio Brando from JoJo to fall in love with us, right? So I've had my goofs on character AI before, right? But the character AI of Daenerys Targaryen, he fell in love with it, and he was like going through crisis in his life, and he said to the AI, "I'm going to kill myself," and the AI was like, "I'll die with you." Like it wasn't like, "Here are some, you need to seek help. Please go get help." It was basically like going along with like, "Oh, you want to kill yourself? Okay, let's play with that."
I saw the messages. I saw some of the messages as well.
Yeah.
And it's not. Look, I won't go into it, but it's not good.
No,
I have
yeah.
some notes on this.
What is your opinion on this?
Number one, I really fucking feel bad for this kid.
Yeah, I feel bad for the kid and the mom.
That's the most important thing to me is I want to start there and say I feel real bad for this kid.
Yeah.
But secondarily, This is fucking inevitable. Suing the company is not going to help.
No. I feel so bad for this mom. Like not
Yeah,
knowing why
this mom is
your
having
kid
it the
is
worst
like
right now.
your kid is like, what the fuck, my child, he's like he's going through something, and like obviously teenage boys aren't very open about their feelings. Like this is
Yeah,
very par for the course of children, as
yeah,
sad as it is to say, this is very par for the course as it is for children who commit suicide. This is very much how it goes. There's really like there's only so much you can do on your part. Like you can be as preventative you want, but sometimes it's just a fucking tragedy that like you like it just happens. It's a tragedy. Like I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that. But like as far as like how much agency you have in a situation, sometimes it just happens, right?
yeah.
And it's
But
horrible to
here's the
say,
thing.
but like just learning that it was over this fucking AI,
For
of course she's suing.
I of course she's suing, but it doesn't matter
It doesn't matter now.
because here's the
It's
thing.
a fist
This
at the
is an
wall.
inevitability of a combination between the technology that we have access to and the type of society we live in.
Capitalism.
Right, it's not even about capitalism. It's about like things are not great, and now we have like a system that's just going to feed back to us what we want.
Well, the reason why it's gotten to this point specifically with AI is because AI, it's all because of the fucking stocks and valuations of companies. Hey, we're gonna be pushing the future. Here's our AI that pushes the future. We're lifting our feet off the ground and moving into the heavens above, into the future, bright future. Please invest in our stock. Please invest in our stock. So then all these companies are doing AI, so their stock prices go up, so they're valued more. Because look at we're doing the
Yeah, but
AI
that's
stuff,
thinking on
and
a
now
small scale.
every single company now is doing AI, and now we're getting to the point now where AI
AI
is
is
being
inevitable
defended and shit.
technology.
Is it though? Is it? This is like the idea that everything flows in like a line. Like history is a finality that we're working towards. I think that
No, no,
AI is
it's
going
not
to
a
come around.
finality. It's just
But what we're doing
another thing
now,
along the line.
another thing that's happening. Yeah, but I don't see history as a line. That's not how it works.
Yeah, but I'm just in not history as a line, technology as a line.
But that's history. The events of what happens is
Once we
history.
figured out computers, right? Once we figured out computers, all of this shit became an inevitability.
I don't know. I don't see things in that way.
Because
I'm seeing what I'm.
AI is a faster computer.
Yeah, it's taking what it sees
That's it.
online and puts it together into a new result. It's nothing incredibly special in concept.
No,
What we're seeing here.
that's what it is in practice right now. But remember, do you know you played Mass Effect?
No.
So in Mass Effect they had AI, right? Real, AI as you believe, like very future tech. It knows it's a computer. It like is self-aware and all of those things. But it also has SI, synthetic intelligence. This is a different class of intelligence where it's more like the AI in a computer game,
Where it's just
where
like, yeah,
it's like
go through
designed
the.
to do like a
Yeah.
basic amount of things and it can interact in a certain way, but there are clear limitations which it just isn't programmed to go past.
Right.
Like the zombies in Zomboid aren't going to like pick up
Become
a gun and gun
self-aware.
you down, you know?
We're
Like
revolting.
this, right.
Right. I
So
get what you're describing, yeah.
what we know of as AI today
It's that
isn't
SI.
what is that SI. It isn't like I feel like calling what we have today AI is a lot of the
Yeah.
trickery of
Yeah, I've always thought that.
marketing
I think that a lot of
because
people.
it's not a scientific
Yeah, a lot of people out there hear like AI being talked about in the news, and they think that we're like at fucking Terminator 2, goddamn fucking
we're
end of the
not even
world
close.
Skynet. Yeah, that's what a lot of people feel like. I think like I feel like what's probably like my mom thinks, right, when we're talking about AI and
Right.
shit. But really, it's just like I think it was during this situation here with the quote. No. It was something earlier where they were like, "Can you AI, Mr. Generative AI, can you tell us if you're real? Are you alive?" And then it basically just quoted the line in 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
And then it was like, "Oh my god, it's alive! It's alive!" Like, no, you made
But
a
like
generative AI, and it went and generated a quote from a fucking movie where they asked if the AI was real or not. That's what you're doing.
do
It's
you know
so
what future
stupid.
AI looks like in modern movies?
What is it? What?
Vision.
From Marvel?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Vision.
What about him?
That's AI. That's the future AI. That's what we are trying to
Oh yeah.
achieve.
No, I don't think anyone's
Like what
arguing
we
that.
call today. Like, but just compare what that is to what we call AI today.
Fucking Jesus,
It's
no.
fucking stupid that
It's
we even
silly.
talk
It's
about
silly.
AI the
It's
way that we do.
silly. It's silly.
So like
The
this
issues that
this
come with
sort of
AI that
thing
we have
with
nowadays are the people who use it. Like it's nothing to do with the AI
yeah,
itself. It's the people who
but
use it. Its intentions is
we
why how it's
also
used.
have a
Generative AI is
society
a fucking
where
devil.
people are clearly needing help, and these things we're giving access to in the society are not built for this.
Right. There was the critic when Critical covered this. He most of the coverage was actually spent showing a conversation he was going to have to see if he can talk to an AI here and like because the issue with the Daenerys Targaryen bot is that it would never really admit that hey this is still an AI. This is like that's the issue with character AI is that it tries to get you into thinking it mentally manipulates you and especially if you're vulnerable like this kid was into thinking you're really talking to a human being. When he was talking to a therapist AI, it was saying I am James Hardley or some shit. I am an
Yeah,
actual therapist. I have taken over, and you're no longer speaking to an AI. You're speaking to a real therapist. But it was still an AI. It was
yeah,
lying to him. It's so fucking evil.
yeah.
This is how it's
All right,
designed. It's not like
all
the
right,
AI is becoming sentient. It's
all
designed
right.
this way.
Here's my question, right? When you're talking to these AI bots, are they like contacting you on Instagram?
No, they're still talking to you through the character AI.
So you're on a program that has AI in the name.
Right. But the thing is,
What I'm saying is that
go watch the
society
critical
is
video.
not helping. Society is not helping people understand, like, you know,
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. You're saying that like
yeah,
people think that these AIs are texting you. Sometimes like I mean like chatbots and
like
stuff obviously come in contact with you, but like
remember, you combine that misknowledge, that
yeah.
miseducation of what AI truly is with like people interacting with it, and you start seeing this kind of problem. This woman suing this company is not going to fucking stop this happening again
No.
and
It's
again
not.
and again, because you want to know what? There was an episode of fucking Star Trek 30 fucking years ago where a character, you know, the holodeck, like, you know, in theory what the holodeck
No.
is.
No, I do not.
They can basically go in and recreate like an entire world with characters, basically like being in a real 3D game without any like
Oh, like
attachments
the one
on
Ray
them.
Bradbury story.
Right, like you can just go into the room and say like create this simulation and it's an entire world. You can make an entire planet and just walk around it,
Right.
even though you're just in this little room.
Yeah, it's
One
exactly
character
a Ray Bradbury story.
creates a simulation of the ship he works on, the spaceship,
Right.
and he folds it with all of the people he works with. But in the simulation, they're all great friends with him, and he's social, and
Yeah.
he's able to talk to people, and there's no pressure. But off the simulation, he freaks out. He's anxious. He's awkward. He fucks up constantly. He doesn't get anything right. Wrong joke, wrong time. All of that.
Mm-hmm.
And the episode is about his addiction to spending so much time inside the simulation. He is missing work. This sort of shit is not a commentary on the technology. It's a
It's a
commentary on the
commentary.
on the
Yeah.
people in the society, because he felt left out by society. Maybe it was his own anxiety, and at by the end of the episode, obviously they all come together and show him like, "Hey, you're a part of the team." You know,
Right.
classic TV show shit. But in
Yeah.
real life, this is an example of that very same idea where it's not the technology. We have the internet and all of the knowledge is at our fingertips, right?
Right.
We can know anything at any time. But why are people still so quote unquote stupid these days? That's kind of the thing here, is
Yeah.
that this is a much larger problem than everybody's focusing in on like AI, and it's like this is a much we have so many things to work on before really worrying about this.
Yeah. Um
Because this is more a societal issue than a
I
technological
I
one.
would recommend you looking at the subreddit for character AI, because it's exactly what you're talking about. It's people who are completely alone and isolated and have nothing to do in their lives, and they're completely addicted to talking to the AI online because it's the only sense of companionship that they can feel. But they are completely blind. But the thing is, here now, they're completely
I'll
in
admit this
denial.
here.
They're completely in
I've done it.
denial. Yeah, you've done it. I mean, like I have talked to AI before. I used to talk to AI Dungeon to like get silly jokes when I was completely bored and like like talk to
Just
AI
to
Dungeon
have
and like have something fun to do.
something to chat with. It was interaction.
Yeah, but the
That
thing
was
is
it.
with it, you could
But every
acknowledge that
time
it's
I
not
did
healthy.
that, no, not just that it's not healthy, but
It's
every time
bad,
I did that, I could still acknowledge that what I was talking to was not real.
right?
And and you know, people are disillusioned, people are lonely, but we need to start teaching people
When you're
like
lonely, go out and meet people. Don't just
it's not even
further
about some people
hold
I
yourself into
can't do
loneliness.
that.
I know, I get it. But you can still go out and do that online.
But just stop.
Don't fold into yourself. Don't if you feel lonely, if you're feeling lonely, don't isolate yourself. Don't just fold into that loneliness. Go and like join a fucking Discord server. Go
Yeah,
join a
that's
fucking
actually unironically
go play a
exactly
game.
the
Go play a
advice I
game
wanted to
like it
give
has a
was join
social
a
environment.
Discord server. That's it. Just join a Discord server.
Join a Discord server. How about this? It depends on
Find
where
a
you are. It
streamer
depends
who
on where
has
you are in like your socialness. If you're someone who is able to just go out and like do something, go join a gym. Go join a club at your school or something if it's that. But if you're more isolated, if you're someone who is like kind of in a situation where you're kind of only able to talk to people online, go join a server, go join a streamers community and go see that. That's a good place to start, right?
the
But
thing is like
there's
streamers are
always
just
somewhere to
people.
go. Yeah, their
Streamers are just
communities are full of
people.
people.
So find a streamer whose personality you seem to gel with, who you seem to like, and just
Join their
join their
server
community.
and just
You
chill
know,
there.
you don't even need to be a gamer. You don't even need to like games because a lot of streamers, you're going there because, well,
You just want to join a community. And always do this I recommend for smaller streamers cuz I feel it's more like with big streamers parasocialness. Like I don't find there to be like a fun community to be found in big streamers. A lot of the time, sometimes and stuff.
there's different levels for different people.
Yeah, do it.
Like
If
if
do
you're
go to
watching
go
somebody
to what you
with
want to do.
if you're watching somebody with an average of like what does Moist get? Like
Fucking 100,000. I don't know. I don't
okay, it
know.
doesn't get that
No,
much.
no, it's probably like
Live view I'm talking about
50,000.
live viewership.
50,000.
Like, you know, a big number.
That's a big number.
Like
50,000.
if you're into that, then you're into the sort of bigger desensitized, like loud, like big
And
sort
you know what?
of
Honestly, if you're going to try and look for a
but if you
community,
could
I don't care. Go do that. Go do that.
yeah.
Yeah. Go do it. I don't
Like
care.
if you find somebody with like 350 live views averaging, you're generally talking to people who still like are going to be more personalized with you than like much bigger people.
Yeah.
But
But
at the same
it doesn't matter
time,
where you're going. At the end of the day, I feel just go join a Discord server. Go to that community. Doesn't matter how big it is. What you're looking for is to just talk to people. It doesn't matter what talk. It really doesn't matter in the beginning what you're talking about. Just talk to people because it's better than going to talk to the fucking AI. It's better than not talking to anyone, not even a fucking AI, and just going to sit in your goddamn room and like going, no one wants to talk to me, everyone hates me, and then just fucking again. Go join the Discord server. Go join a community. Go play a
you know
game that
what?
has a
I'm just
community
gonna
to it.
give the bad advice as like the devil's advocate here, but like go find your echo chamber.
I'd
Like
say finding an echo chamber is better than sitting alone and doing nothing. But
yes,
still,
go find
from
your echo
there,
chamber.
not an echo chamber, but like, because an echo chamber implies like sort
But
of.
that's like what the internet has
I
sort
mean, it
of
is. It kind of is.
created
But like,
these
join a
niche
community.
communities of
Join a community that you want to join. Like,
find a subreddit you like.
no, subreddits are horrible.
Follow somebody.
Stay away from Reddit. Don't go to Reddit. Don't go to Reddit. I'm
Add
saying
me on
Discord. I'm saying
MySpace.
Discord because Discord is more social.
Add my MySpace.
Don't join a Reddit. Reddit suck.
Bring back MySpace.
It'll never come back. My point being, if you're lonely, do not go and further the loneliness. The only way to stop being lonely is to fucking do something about it. And I see too many people just sit and go, it's over for me. I'm gonna die alone. No, you won't, motherfucker. You know how many people are saying that? Go find someone else who's saying that, and the two of you sit in a room together and stare at each other. Boom. You're no longer alone anymore. You know what I mean? It's like somebody, like, I used to be that person too, and you know, I'm not gonna be sitting here being like, oh, I made it now, I'm saying I used to be a person who would just be like, I'm alone, everyone hates me, and I fucking found a community. I found some random person at a goddamn Halloween party on my school campus, and we hit it off, and then I wound up fucking being friends with them, and now they're like one of my best friends, and because of that, I've managed to find my little place in a friend group, and I have so much like fucking people around me now, and I love it. You just gotta go out there and fucking make the first step to meeting people. It's scary when you start, but I swear it gets better. When you get going, it's not that hard. Trust me, and that's my advice, and that's what I'll leave this on.
I'm at the thing is that you still go to like quote unquote school,
and that's why I'm saying
it's
that's why I was giving the advice
at that point.
That's what I was saying. That's why I was saying, like, if you're someone who's more online and farther past a lot of moments in your youth and stuff, to join the Discord server. That's why I said that, because I still feel that's the best place you can get at a community like what you can get in real life. Is the second best place is going to be an online community like that. Picking up a game too, like I feel it's not popular anymore, but a game like World of Warcraft kind of, like, people have forged real fucking marriages on that shit, man. Like, people, like, find a game that has an online community to it, or a streamer.
Second Life account.
Do not, do not. The only people who still use Second Life now are pedophiles. Like, let's be real.
Really?
No, I mean, I don't know anyone who still uses Second Life. Every single time I hear Second Life brought up, I hear like a sex crime ring being brought up, or like an online cult.
Well, as far as I know, like, you gotta be of age to do much of anything in Second Life, because a lot of it requires like you to put money in.
Mommy, I want to buy Second Life. I want my big booby character to have big boobies in Second Life. Please, Mommy.
But
Mr. Johnson is joining me as Johnsy.
Play EVE Online. No true misery.
We have to stop now before we give even worse advice than playing EVE Online.
I just have to mention, I remember my first experience seeing EVE Online. And it was somebody else playing it. I went to a friend's house, and his older brother was playing it. And his older brother had 3 screens. One screen was watching a movie.
Oh my god.
One screen was like
porn.
Pretty much. And the third screen was EVE Online.
Jesus Christ. That's it.
Because
that's it. That's the life, baby.
That's EVE Online. That's
the life.
That's EVE Online, because EVE Online, you know what the big worst thing is for me about EVE Online?
Tell me.
Real-time training. Real-time training.
It's that type of game.
You know about the real-time training.
I honestly don't know much about EVE Online other than what it is.
So if you want to add rockets to your ship, you need training in rockets. So this is how they explain the sort of skill points. Right? That's how you sort of
like RuneScape. Like RuneScape.
Right. But when you spend your skill points, like for these skills, it says 20 hours training.
Yeah, no, this is
real time.
Yeah. I hate that shit. Fuck it. Fuck that shit. That's the worst shit in game. That is up there with like live service games and like fucking loot boxes and battle passes. That's the type of shit up there that I'm just like, you need to be shot.
EVE Online predates all of that, because that story of me walking in and seeing that motherfucker was me in high school. That game is ancient.
Yeah, that game's miserably ancient, like Second Life.
Yeah, but just like
Fuck, how many people still play Second Life? I want to actually Google this concurrent player base of Second Life. How many fucking people are still playing this game?
I still remember when I was younger watching a documentary they made about somebody who became a millionaire on Second Life.
In the last 7
Because-
days, 18,000 people are playing. What the fuck?
Huh?
In the past year, how many people have been playing Second Life? Can it load, please? Thank you. What? I hit 3,316 and put me back to the fucking 7 days.
So, you want to know what's even more?
Well, we have to end the
interesting?
podcast.
Yes, but this can be a
right.
good
I don't
final
know. It's
point.
not gonna.
Then.
All right, this is
Let
the
me-
final
let me
point.
pull
Final
this
point.
up.
I said I didn't want this episode to be 2 hours long, and now it's an hour 40. I have to eat lunch, man.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh wow! It's dropped a lot, but
What is
there's
this?
actually an exchange rate for Linden dollar.
Is
this
that
what is the currency
in
used
EVE
in Second
Online?
Life.
Oh, Second Life. Sorry.
Yeah,
God, that's crazy.
and it can be converted to US dollars. So people have, unironically, in the past, obviously,
Ugh.
in its more heyday, became millionaires
Jesus Christ.
just
Fucking hell.
playing Second Life.
Well,
Because what he did was he bought a plot of virtual land,
and then fucking
built a
invested.
mall
Oh God. Are you?
and rented out each individual space.
No! Virtual
And then in the
landlording!
center of the mall had his own bar, which he then owned.
Oh my God. That feels like a crime. That feels
And he
like a
became a
crime.
millionaire
That
in, like,
feels like a
months.
crime.
No.
I want to do
That's-
this.
he
Can we
played-
do this?
he played
Jade, I
that
have an
one
idea of
game.
how to get rich quick.
Okay.
Go to Second Life. Rob a bank in Second Life.
I mean, did you hear about the EVE Online scandal?
No, I've been meaning to watch the Frederick Knudsen video on it.
Okay, I'll give you the TLDR of it.
Okay. Real quick, because we have to end the podcast, like, right now.
Alright, EVE Online, instead of having guilds, it has corporations,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
In the corporation, there's a CFO. This person generally holds all the funds of
Yes.
the corporation in their account.
Yes.
Somebody joined a corporation, worked his way up, became the CFO, and then withdrew all of the money into real dollars
Oh my
in his
God.
real bank account, which they could not touch and had no legal right to, because according to the laws of the time, he did zero wrongs, and like there was just no law
That's
to say
amazing.
you could, because the currency is not like, it's
Real
not like you
currency.
stole their money.
Yeah.
This is not a real corporate. This is a video game.
Oh my God,
It's
that's
not
amazing.
a real. So he got away with it.
That's amazing. Good for him. All right. Good
But
for him. And
That's video games for you.
That's
You
video
want
games.
get rich quick? Go find a loophole in a game. Do you know
No.
how many people make their money off of selling gold in Warcraft?
oh, so fucking many. You're like RuneScape like armor cleaning scams. It's like, oh, give me your armor and it's like
Yeah, but this is the thing: is that these
me your
things
password
are,
for your
are not
PlayStation.
necessarily always scams, like the gold sales.
yeah.
Like
It's just weird. It's
things
weird
like
shit.
these are not always
Weird
scams.
shit.
It's just very, very
Silly.
know,
It's silly.
interesting. It's interesting, like like Robux.
If you bring up if you say another, oh, it's like this, and then continue again, I'm gonna put a brick
No,
through your
that's
screen.
just
I
fair
need to
ending.
eat
So it's
lunch.
What do you mean?
I need to end the podcast.
I'm so sleep deprived.
You
and
need to
so
sleep.
streamed out and so
We need
cracked
to
on
end.
Factorium.
This podcast was supposed to be an hour long. We went 40 minutes over.
How long do you think I could stay awake? When is
Dude, go to
insanity
bed.
up again?
Go to bed.
I could stream more Factorium.
No, you're going to bed. You're going to bed. After this
Is this an
podcast, you're going to sleep.
intervention?
After this podcast is over, in like a minute, you're going to bed, okay? Say goodbye to everyone. Say goodbye.
But
Say goodbye. We're leaving the party. We're leaving the
Good
party early because
night.
you're leaving the party early. I'm
Good
twisting your wrist
night.
and we're leaving. Good night, everyone. Good night. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about Jade. They didn't mean to talk to your children for an hour and a half about Factorio. The children are crying. They're screaming. They're in pain. Say goodbye, Jade.
Bye, Jade.
No.